This is We Believe philosophy presentation. I chose the philosophy that educators use multiple learning and teaching approaches. First off, students are unique individuals. No two students are exactly the same in the way that they learn. They have different learning styles. At almost any age, students can learn grade level curriculum when they are taught with appropriate strategies and resources for how they learn, but students are rarely assigned to classrooms based on their learning style. There are 21 different elements that can affect how a person learns new and difficult material. The 5 major elements are environmental preferences, emotional predispositions, sociological preferences, psychological characteristics, and processing styles. This is a chart showing the different learning style characteristics. Environmental includes things such as sound, light, temperature, and design of the classroom and the furniture. Emotional is things like motivation, responsibility, task persistence, and structure. Sociological deals with how students interact with each other, including working by themselves, in pairs, in groups, and with varied instruction. Physiological includes perceptions such as eyesight and hearing, intake, as in if they're hungry, mobility, and their ability to get up and around the classroom, and the time of day. Psychological includes things analytic versus global. There are students who are analytic, meaning they have to see the little details first and then the big picture, and global is the other way around. And reflective versus impulsive. There are students who need to take information and digest it, and other students who can work with it right away. Then we have something called multiple intelligences. According to Howard Gardner, there are various kinds of intelligences. Of the 8 identified intelligences, Gardner suggests that only 2, linguistic and logical mathematical, have been valued and tested for in modern secular schools. As a pluralistic theory, the fundamental assertion is that individuals demonstrate variation in their levels of strength and weakness across the intelligences. This means that it is kind of a continuum. 2 primary claims of this theory is that all individuals possess the full range of intelligences, and that these intelligences are what define human beings, and no 2 individuals, not even identical twins, exhibit precisely the same profile of intellectual strengths and weaknesses. Everyone's different. This is a map to show the different types of intelligences. There are 9 on this map because Gardner was thinking about adding existential. But we have verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, visual spatial, musical rhythmic, bodily kinesthetic, naturalist, intrapersonal, and interpersonal. Each one deals with a different way of people being able to interact with the world around them. Then we have diversity and development, which makes students different. Middle school teachers, like all educators, are encountering classrooms with unprecedented numbers of students from various cultural, ethnic, and racial backgrounds. This challenge could have a greater impact on middle school teachers because they must also help their students deal with the unique developmental changes that occur at this time. Emergence of puberty, including physical, socio-emotional, and cognitive changes. There are transformations in relationships between their parents, more emotionally intense interactions between peers, and their struggle with personal identity issues. To combat this, teachers have come up with strategies for teaching diverse learners. First, we have something called visuals. These are found to be especially helpful in teaching students whose first language is not English, and they can include pictures, cartoons, maps, graphs, charts, diagrams, videos, and other multimedia resources. And they enhance learning because they engage different senses, accommodate visual learners, and help reinforce key ideas by presenting information in alternative formats. These are some of the examples of visual learning. At the top, we have a science classroom using the food chain to create a map. The right is for math class with algebra. On the bottom, we have a historical political cartoon and something for English class as well, where students can take stories and create magazine covers and articles. We have something called peer tutoring. This pairs students of differing abilities together, such as an English-speaking student with an English learner. This promotes communication, motivates students, and helps students attain higher levels of achievement while developing friendships between students from differing backgrounds. These are some examples of peer tutoring. We have students working together to complete the same assignments in order to better help each other. We have something called cooperative learning. This is similar to peer tutoring, but can have a significant positive effect on students' achievement, attitudes, and peer relations, especially if it involves both group goals and individual accountability. In these, we have larger groups working together. We have different setups for table schemes in order to help students work together, and we have different roles that can be assigned in order to help with individual accountability. Of the most important strategy that we can use is alternative modes of assessment. Traditional assessments such as paper and pencil tests discriminate against students of diverse backgrounds because they fail to acknowledge their heritages, languages, and experiences. Alternative assessments can include the use of projects, exhibits, journals, demonstrations, observations, graphic organizers, videos, and multimedia formats. Portfolios have also been proven especially effective for young adolescents in middle schools, particularly for classrooms with multicultural and multilingual students. Portfolios are excellent for showing work of a student over a period of time instead of specific pieces of work that do not really tell the whole story. In these examples, kids are demonstrating their abilities, there are portfolios that they can create, and they can even use technology to create digital portfolios for their parents to see as well as for them to see all of their learning in one place. Finally, this is my list of references. And that completes my presentation.